People, including me, often say a bit of escapism is a good thing. Life's so busy and demanding, it's a combination of work, families, maintaining health, all the pressures and stress that goes with it. Even when things are going really well, it can still be helpful just to put the brakes on for an hour or so here and there. Just let your mind wander off from the constant grind of life. Maybe you watch a movie or a trashy TV show. Maybe read a good book or play some awesome video game. You might just lay back and listen to some music. These moments allow your real life consciousness to switch off for a while. The fight or flight can just relax. You can be swept away in something else, where you're just a passive observer. Or you can even get caught up in someone else's problems while shoveling popcorn into your mouth. It's just a bit of harmless fun, right? But what happens when these little moments increase into bigger portions of your life? What happens when that little rest from real life turns into a big piece of your day or week, or even your whole life? Maybe you don't really notice it at first. It might be incremental, it probably is. Or perhaps you're conscious of it. Maybe it's completely intentional and purposeful. We're all different. Not only different from one another, but we're different from ourselves at any other given moment in time. That's what life and evolution and education and realization is all about. For me personally, escapism had become a way of life. It was so well ingrained into my life that it took me a couple of decades to realize it was even there. I didn't have a rough upbringing. I was really lucky to have 2 stable homes and a big supportive family. But like every person and every life, I faced challenges, and I only knew what I knew. By my teen years, I found comfort and safety in the form of music, video games, and smoking weed. Cigarettes too. These things individually, but also as a team, always allowed me to escape whatever pressure or stress I was feeling about anything in life. Family, school, work, relationships, loss, expectation, failures. Whatever it was, I could run to these things and smile because they take me away, make me feel good. By age 18, the music side was so important to me that I started working on my own. I wanted to contribute. Everyone else was focusing on finishing high school with good marks so they could get into the uni course they had their heart set on. Many of my friends and my siblings knew what they wanted and they were going after it. All I wanted to do was write and make rap songs. But it's not how it sounds. Successful musicians often say that when they were young, they always wanted the success and would stop at nothing to achieve it, hence why they eventually did. I never remember feeling like that. It was just an escape for me from the pressure and expectation. As I got into my 20s, I was so wrapped up in the escape that it really looked from the outside that I was following my dreams. And in a small way I was. But the reality is, I just like to get away from it all. It was the perfect excuse to be left alone. I'd smoke up and make beats or write lyrics, yeah. But more so, I had this easy way out to tell people I couldn't come to that event or that party or even family dinner because I was recording. Half the time that was bullshit. I'd just smoke, hit the PlayStation, maybe put on a few tracks I was working on, maybe not. I went to TAFE, pleased my parents, and just used the equipment there to make music videos. I had jobs that simply paid the bills and allowed me to make music and smoke up the rest of the time. I never had any career path in mind at all. I'd just grind out the shift and then run home to the cozy sanctuary of beats, weed and video games where I felt safe and nothing else mattered. Comfort zone king. Now let me be clear here. There were heaps of amazing real-life experiences that happened as a result of all of this too, and I don't regret any of it. The studio sessions, the gigs, the after parties with the great friends that I'd made through music, some of the best moments in my life. And this is by no means a sob story either. It's just simply some reflection. Because as life went on, the pattern was always the same for me. Into my late 20s and 30s, friends were finding their careers, creating and looking after their own families. I was doing the same old shit, dabbling briefly in real life. And then, when a relationship or a job went sour, I was straight back to fantasy land, telling anyone who asked that I was, working on my next album. And I was. But that was also just my cover story. I started to realise that I had so much more potential and life was just slipping away from me fast. I knew I had to change things up. Music had been my life, but I'd never really gone all in on it. I couldn't just quit. I had unfinished business. I wanted to have a break from it, but before I could, I took the opportunity to do some things that I'd never done before. I played gigs in most other states in this country, having always just played in Melbourne my whole life. I gave some loyal supporters the show that I felt that they, really deserved and I owed them. I also finished 2 projects that I'd already started. One that was really reminiscent of the good old days, and another with my newest artist, who'd worked real hard and deserved a proper release with his name on it. That project was also put together in the proper way, a way that my half-assed efforts of the past had, never bothered to do before. The album came out more awesome than I ever hoped. And as each element was given the attention, money and respect it deserved, it was done. I could step away with peace of mind. Throughout that process, in the back of my mind, I was formulating the next phase of my mission. I wanted to get fitter, but I had to quit smoking to do that. I wanted to save more money and buy property. I had to quit smoking to do that too. I wanted to think differently. I had to stop smoking weed to do that. And in order to give me a chance at all of the above, I decided that not drinking alcohol would help. As would beginning to eat properly and healthily, as well as getting more sleep and exercising. The planets in my mind were aligning. Everything was pointing in the same direction. But I knew it would take a major, sudden change in lifestyle, thus explaining the detox that I put myself through. I'm now over 100 days into my new routines, finding out who I am without my safety blankets, taking on real life for most of the day, every day. The good news is I'm still me, but I'm healthier, wealthier, and moving towards more, bigger and better things that I really want in real life. I haven't wasted any of my time or money smoking. I'm fitter than I've ever been in my life. I'm thinking about things from a new place of perspective. I still watch an hour of crappy TV or some YouTube here and there, and I still listen to music a lot. It keeps me sane. I still believe escapism is important in the right doses, but that I broke out of my comfort zone, which previously had become similar to a prison for me. I didn't want to be there any longer, so I left. Escaping escapism, that was just the first step. There's plenty more to come, so watch this space. This is Chip Casual. Thanks for tuning into The Worthwhile. Hit me in the comments. Thank you. Speak soon.